Hi everyone, welcome to 41ideas.com, where I give my thoughts on cool startups and interesting ideas. The first startup that I want to talk about today is an app that is the first thing that has ever made me say the phrase, "Man, I wish I had an iPhone." And that is Push for Pizza. It's as simple as it gets. It's an app that has a button, and you push it, and pizza comes to your door. They save your favorite pizza place, your billing information, your address, your tip amount, and everything. So all you have to do is you push a button and you choose between cheese and pepperoni. Easy peasy. In the 2 weeks that I've known about this app, I've wanted it at least 3 or 4 times because, I mean, how much easier does it get? Push a button and pizza comes to your door. It's fantastic. I love it. Super cool. I wish I had an iPhone. And by that I mean, hey guys, build an Android app now, please. Okay, so the second startup that I want to talk about is called Navdy, and it is quite simply a heads-up display for your car. The way it works is you connect it to either an Android phone or an iPhone, and it's a device that sits actually physically on the dashboard, and it projects a heads-up display onto a little glass screen, and it's designed to be focused about 6 feet in front of you, so you actually never take your focus away from the road while you're driving. They actually designed this based off of the heads-up displays used by pilots in commercial airlines. So you can see navigation right in front of you. Never have to look down at your phone or look at a screen on your dashboard. You can see through the screen, see everything that's in front of you. And on top of that, you can answer calls, you can send texts, you can tweet, all using voice activation, or there's little hand gestures to actually perform some basic tasks. And it's $300. I want one. It's up for pre-order right now. I think it's really cool. Heads-up displays are just a huge thing from sci-fi. I mean, everybody knows it's a big thing with all the augmented reality glasses coming out, that heads-up displays, actually being able to see information right in front of you, is big, and it's gonna explode real quick. I'm worried that there's gonna be some legality issues in the future with heads-up displays in cars, just because driving is so dangerous, and something's going to happen. Somebody's going to protest and say that this was dangerous and should be illegal. Hopefully they'll be able to get through that, and that is a few years down the line. But that's my one concern. Otherwise, super cool. Totally worth the $300 in my opinion. It's pretty cheap to get a small, it's a really small projector that you can put in your car. So that's pretty cool. And I have one final, it's kind of a startup, but it's really more an idea at this point that they're trying to turn into a startup. And that is called Ubeam. Now, Ubeam is wireless charging technology using ultrasound. And the benefit of this is that you don't have to be right on top of the charging pad to charge your devices. You can be anywhere within essentially line of sight, because sound can't really travel through walls really well, but within a room it has no problems. So you can have chargers just somewhere on an outlet, somewhere in the room, and as long as you direct line of sight, your phone can charge. I think this is fantastic. The idea itself is simple enough that I'm surprised nobody's thought of it before. I'm very impressed that they've been actually able to pull it off, because despite the idea being simple, the implementation sounds problematic, but they pulled it off. And I'm really excited. I hope they were able to turn it into a company. I have a few concerns about wasted power, though. Because as far as I can tell, unless you have some kind of complicated sensing system, you're going to be radiating power all the time. And sound is expensive. As anybody who's looked at the power requirements of a stereo to put an extra speaker in their car or to upgrade their home stereo knows a lot of power gets fed into speakers to make air move, and that's essentially how this works. Is there's a little speaker, and it creates sound waves, and then you have a little charger on your phone that translates those sound waves back into electricity. So I'm worried that the power usage is going to be astronomical, but maybe they figured out some kind of sensing system that works well. But on top of that, sound usually goes out in a circular wave, unless you have really well developed focusing on a sound, which you can do. You can create beams of sound, but it's complicated. And it's not usually something you can just, I want to beam that way. Oh, now I want to beam this way. And I want to beam here and here simultaneously. You build the system to point in a direction. So a few concerns. The idea is super cool. The team looks extremely competent. And they seem to have pulled it off. So be looking for that in the next couple of years. They don't have any kind of information on when exactly you're actually going to get a product, but they have a proof of concept. So go check out Ubeam and Ubeam, Navdy, and Push for Pizza. If you have an iPhone and can actually install Push for Pizza, I'm a little jealous. And go pre-order Navdy, like $300 for a heads-up display in your car. How is that not worth it? So thank you everybody for listening, and I'll see you next week.